All right, here he is, Jackson Campbell, on the show for the very first time as he gets ready to make his MMA debut February the 11th at NEF 51 against Patrick Mitchell. Jackson, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing fantastic. Now, I do understand, I was looking at your Instagram. You were supposed to fight in July at Rage in the Cage. So what happened with that? Why didn't you make your debut then?
Yeah. So actually, what happened was that was a Muay Thai fight, and it did go through. Some funny stuff happened. It's a funky promotion they're running up there. Uh, but that fight did go through. That was actually my first loss. Uh, so here we are. It is what it is. It was a good fun time. I fought a really tough opponent. He was like, I believe, like 9-0 champ. It was my
Wow.
first Muay Thai fight. Yeah, I fought him at 145, which normally I fight at 125. So it was a good experience. But yeah.
Okay, well, I figured it must have been canceled because I tried looking you up on Tapology, but I didn't see your name in there. But that's coming. That's right around the corner. NEF is
Yeah,
always,
right around.
yeah, they'll get it right in there. They're fast and furious for you, man. Now, I do know I've heard of your name. Obviously, you're on the gym for quite some time now. Your stand-up skills, Coach Young raves about you. So let's just start from the beginning. When you first started MMA, when you first started training in combat sports, tell me how old you are and just the evolution of your game here.
Yes, sir. All right. So shoot. Damn, it's been quite some time. I've been playing sports my whole life. I was always an athletic kid, but gosh, I wasn't vertically gifted, as my mom says. Geez, I'm not too tall. I'm kind of built like a Slim Jim, I'm not too thick. So football wasn't a good option for me. I learned that pretty quick. So I was like, shoot, I need to get into something with weight classes. And, as a kid, we'd always have family gatherings and our parents would get drunk and they'd always have us cousins fight each other. So before you know it, one of my uncles, he was like, geez, we need to get this kid into something, karate or something, because he's a killer. I was doing what I do, and I was like, oh, Lord. I was like, oh, Lord. And so, I stop over at Young's MMA at like 12 years old. Chris Young, he's like, yeah, yeah, all right, come sign up. I signed a little waiver, and we hit it right off. I dove right in. I was going with all the other kids, like, oh, we need to get this kid in the adults class. I was like 12. And I started boxing. I started the Thunder Pig program with Levi Sewell a long time ago. And I started boxing, and I slowly got into jujitsu, and I did some wrestling. And then, shoot, that was what, 8 years ago? So I've been training hard for 8 years. Yeah.
So you're just 20 now.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Wow. To be young again, man, that makes me feel old. I'll digress right there, my man. But so when you look at, I guess your overall game at this point right now, it seems like your bread and butter is your stand-up skill set, right? But do you feel like you really evolved the wrestling, the takedown defense, the jiu-jitsu? Like, has that been something that you've really prioritized leading up to this debut fight?
Honestly, we're just gonna have to find out. We're gonna see, because I think a lot of people are gonna think I'm just a striker, and they're welcome to think that. And we're gonna find out real quick if that's true or not. I mean, I imagine. I respect my opponent. Anybody who gets in the cage is awesome. I think it's a commendable act. It's not easy to do, but I imagine he's gonna be shooting for my legs for his life. So we're gonna see how that goes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we have seen
I
him
mean,
fight twice now. We saw him most recently against Ed Davis. That kind of looked like a
yep,
mismatch to me, just size
yeah,
wise, and
yeah.
they're looked like they're in different weight classes. And then the fight with Caleb Kenny, that was his debut fight. What did you take from that?
Right.
Did you learn anything about him? Were you kind of sizing him up?
Yeah, yeah, Noah, I learned he's a game opponent for sure. And I've learned I don't think he really cuts weight. I think he probably walks around right around 145. So it's perfect for me because that's about what I walk around at. I normally fight at 125. I've been eating, Thanksgiving was, not too long ago. Christmas was coming up. I've been eating good. So I'm a little chunky right now. So we'll fight at 145 for this one. And after, I gotta get my weight down so we can fight at 125. But this is really all they had to offer me. So we took it. But what I took away was he's not really cutting too much weight. I mean, I'm sure he might be a little bit bigger than me, but we're right around the same size. Um, he's he's definitely an awkward fighter. He's gonna be very unpredictable. He doesn't really have traditional like martial arts. From what I've seen, he doesn't really stick to the jab, the right hand, the double leg takedown. He's kind of just like he's all not in a bad way, but he's all over the place. He's unpredictable. You don't really know what he's gonna throw. I don't even think he knows what he's gonna throw based on those fights. And so yeah, I took away. He's a tough scrapper. He's definitely gonna come to fight. Um, I'm excited, and yeah, I mean Caleb Kenny. I mean, it is what it is. It was a good fight. They were a good matchup for each other. However, Ed Davis, one of my teammates, who just fought him. Gosh, what a fight, huh? So I watched that closely. I'm like, I need to do what he did, and I should come home with a win. But who knows?
How big of a size difference is there between you and Eddie?
45 pounds, I'd say.
Wow.
A solid 45. Yeah, Ed's a big boy. Yeah, gosh, to make 55, he's very disciplined. Ed Davis, he's a workhorse, man. He's a good guy, and he works hard. Like, he really is dedicating his time. He's up early in the morning training. He's getting a second session in the afternoon. He eats right. He does all the right things. Hats off to that guy. He's really doing what he needs to be doing.
So you said he's one of your teammates. I was under the impression you're training at Young's. I thought Ed is at Titan. Are you going back and forth? You training at both gyms?
Yeah, so I primarily train at Young's. Chris Young is my head coach. I mean, he's the man. He's been like my second father almost. But Ed Davis, yeah, he does train at Titans, and I go over there occasionally just to get some work in with some of their guys, get some new looks and whatnot. And the owner, Jeremy Tyler, he's been nothing but amazing to me, or co-owner. And yeah, they've been phenomenal over there and been very gracious towards me, and I'm very thankful for what they do. So yeah, primarily at Young's, but I love cross training over at Titans. They have some great bodies for me. There's also another young guy named Soren. I believe he just fought the last card. He's an awesome training partner for me. So yeah, I get working over there and over here. Get what we can get.
Okay. Very good. I wanted to ask you too, because I mean, there was a point in time where Young's MMA, not that it isn't now, but like there was a point in time when
Right.
they had so many absolute just monsters in the gym, from Ryan Sanders to Bruce Boynton, Harvey, CJU or Aaron Lacey. You could just go on and on. There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
Naming right now. Who is the most miserable guy to train with? Who is the worst guy to train with, who would just maybe put it on you or give you the hardest time?
Well, I will start off with this. By no means, this is for everyone, but I can be an asshole. I know who I am. I can run my mouth a little bit, and especially when I was 12 and 13, I definitely had an older brother I'd talk crap to, and he'd whoop my ass, but it was a different level. I didn't really understand. So at like 13, 14, I'd go in there and I'd run my mouth to these guys, and gosh, did they put the beating on me since a young age, Lord. I mean, I remember one time Ryan Sanders and Josh Harvey, we were doing a drill, and it was like the three of us, and we were taking turns like throwing like combos and finishing with a leg kick. And I will say I didn't walk straight for or walk about right for, gosh, I had to give it at least a month. Oh Lord, I had it looked like I had an extra muscle on my knee. It was so swollen. And I actually had a jiu-jitsu tournament, and I went over that when I was like 15 with that huge bruise. It was crazy. I don't know. Josh Harvey's gave me a good tussle a few times too. I mean, Fred Lear, he's a little more my size. That guy's a monster too. He would mop the floors with me. So, gosh, they all gave me a piece of cake here and there.
Okay, good enough.
Lord, every one of them.
And I do understand that you were at Jackson Wink, one of the absolute best gyms on planet Earth, recently. So tell me how that came about, how long you were there, the work you got, and who you were around day to day.
Oh my gosh, that was a great experience. It was wonderful. I loved every bit of it. I was there for, let's see, I'd say about a little under a year I was there. I was living in a RV, 1982 flipper RV, behind in the parking lot with a lot of other guys. A lot of us just all lived in the parking lot in the back in our RVs. Some guys lived in vans, you know, that's the life we choose. And gosh, I just woke up, went to war, 4 or 5 hours, went to bed. That's what I did every day for a year straight. It was really good for me because I got to see where I was at and compared to other high level pros and some of the best amateurs. I got to just see where I ranked with them, and I also got to see you know, how they're coaching and how everything worked over there. And it was just really an eye-opening experience because, you know, me being as young as I am and whatnot, I want to know, like, deep down I always felt like this is what I do. This is gonna be one of my this is going to be my career someday. But I wanted a little bit more reassurance, and I want to see how I linked up with some of the higher level pros and whatnot. And so that's what it was really best for. I got to train with, you know, John Dotson. He was awesome. I got a couple rounds in with him one time. That was really good. Just a lot of guys that are more on the amateur low key scene that I'm sure we haven't heard too much about, but gosh, they have a great gym over there. Wonderful. Joey Villasenor was my head coach over there. He was fantastic. Andrew Tennyson, he was fantastic as well. And yeah, you know, it was an overall great experience. It's a crazy city, Albuquerque is. Wow. Lord, Ohio town, they need Jesus over there. Gosh. But it was a wild experience, fighting, going out, raising hell, and just doing what we did. I got to meet Tony Ferguson. That was cool. I got to meet like Terrence McKinney. He's a stand-up fun dude. You know, Holly Holmes there, everyone knows, and you know the whole story. Diego Sanchez and all of them. It was fun. It just got to live the dream for a month.
Planning to
Couple
go
months.
back at any point in time?
Who knows where I'm going. As if right now I don't see myself going back. I see myself maybe trying out or going to visit another gym. But right now this is my home. I need to go on a streak. I need to get like try to stay injury free. I'm trying to turn pro as soon as possible. And I want to get like bang out as many amateur fights over the next year and a half.
Okay, very good. Well, do you have a job? Like, what are you doing outside of just training MMA right now? Are you in school at all? Like, what else do you do?
Yeah, so I got a couple things lined up. Right now I'm working at a company called Portland Pie right here in Bangor. It's phenomenal. I love working there. I have awesome coworkers. But I'm actually not to get into too much detail, but I'm starting my own business and that should be launching anytime soon. So hopefully I'll be self-employed here pretty soon, but that's on the come up and got to kind of keep it on the down low for right now.
Okay, well, I'm excited to see what that is whenever you do announce that. Now, as far as Christmas right around the corner, I mean, you said
Oh yeah.
you're pretty much walking around at the weight you're going to be fighting at, so you don't really have to worry as much about, you know, food intake around the holidays. But what are your plans?
Nope.
Tell me what you and the family are going to do. What are you looking forward to eating on Christmas?
Hmm. You don't know what, Lord? My eyes are much bigger than my stomach. If I keep the sweatshirt on, but you would see I'm built like a Slim Jim. You know, I'm just trying to. The ham's gonna be good. I think we're doing a nice roast. We're gonna get. Gosh, not keep me away from that Boston cream pie, cause I'll destroy the whole damn thing. What are you gonna be eating?
You know, turkey is my go-to for Thanksgiving and Christmas. If we could throw a nice big turkey in the oven and I can have that, maybe some stuffing, some mashed potatoes. That's always I feel like the go-to for me. But we're going up to my wife's family's house for the weekend, so I'm kind of like at the mercy of what they are making. So I don't know. We'll
Oh
see.
yeah, okay. If you don't have to do dishes, I mean, gosh, I'll take whatever I get, right?
Exactly. Now, before we dive back into this fight here, NEF 51, I want to ask you a couple questions about that. That Muay Thai fight that you lost, I wanted to ask you, like, how did that affect you? I mean, for that to be, I guess, your first foray into like a combat sport where you're fighting in front of other people. What was that like mentally to suffer that loss? Although it was against a much more seasoned fighter.
Yeah, so I actually had quite a few boxing matches and jiu-jitsu matches. I did win the Golden Gloves and a few other tournaments. So and I was undefeated in that. Um, what was I? I want to say I was like, gosh, I can't remember now. I was so much younger. I was like 5-0, 6-0, something like that in boxing, and then a handful of jiu-jitsu tournaments. I won a bunch of no-gi tournaments and that. And so then I was supposed to fight someone at 130 pounds for Rage in the Cage in Muay Thai. I go up there, I cut probably what, like 10 pounds. I, I wasn't in the greatest shape. I had staph infection. I was taking antibiotics, so I was all bloated and whatnot. But I cut like 9, 10 pounds, got down to 130. Day of weigh-ins, the promoter comes up to me and says, "Hey, listen, your opponent pulled out, but and I just got done driving like 8 hours to Phoenix, and he says your opponent pulled out, but that's all right." He's like, "I got a killer fight for you." He says, "We got a champion. We got the champ." Keep in mind, I went up there with no coaches, just a couple of my friends, and I'm like, I'm gonna go up there, take a fight, come back. I was supposed to fight someone who's also like 0-1. He hasn't had really much Muay Thai experience. It's gonna be even match at my weight class, and they're like, so he comes up to me. He's like, "Yeah, I got to fight for you. We got the champion, but like he's not that good. He's super skinny. He's not that big for 140. He probably walks around like 141, 142." And I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, he's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "I bet you knock him out in the first." He was like just hyping me up. And I'm cutting weight, so like the idea of like, "Oh, I don't even have to cut anymore. I can just drink up and weigh in at 140 right now. Sweet." And so he's like, "Yeah, you'll finish this guy in a round." He's just sitting right here telling me all this. And I'm like, "All right, let's do it." I didn't even tell my coach or nothing. I just accepted the fight, didn't look at my opponent or nothing. An hour or two goes by. I see this guy, gosh, he had to be like 6'1", 6'2", just jacked guy. He's like 27, walks in there, shredded up. You could tell he cut at least 25 pounds. Like it was a huge cut. He was limping in there, and he missed weight, I believe, by like 4 or 5 pounds, and then came in. They never said a word to me about missing weight, nothing. And they lied about my weight because I weighed in at like 133. And I can't remember if the fight was at 140 or 145, but I weighed in at like 133. They lied about my weight just so it passed commission. It was my first Muay Thai fight. They said I was like 5-1 or like 6-1 or something. Never had a fight. They just set me right up. And I couldn't find any videos of him. I got in there and oh Lord, I learned real quick. Weight classes are very important, very, very important, especially against a skilled striker. It went well. I took a lot from it. I learned, matchmaking is important, weight classes are important, and don't eat flying knees. Those aren't fun.
Okay, fair enough. Well, it sounds like that whole thing was a little shady, like they were giving you false information.
Oh, they're a shady promotion, very shady, and I don't mind. I've texted the promoter. I wouldn't suggest fighting for him if you're an upcoming fighter. Very dirty. They've had many complaints, so it's not just me. So you'll hear about this.
Okay. Well, let's transition to this fight here again. NEF 51, February 11th. It's in Bangor. I imagine you're going to have a lot of support in the arena come fight night. Does that add extra pressure for you?
Honestly, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you like I'm 100% confident in this and that. You know, everyone gets nervous. That's just a part of the sport. I mean, we're getting locked in there to fight another dude. Gosh, I'd be lying to you if I told you I wasn't nervous. Of course, I'm a little nervous, but at the end of the day, this is what I do. This is what we do. This is what I train for, and it's just another day. It's literally just another day. Like it's no different than today. I'm literally gonna go to the gym, train 2, 3 hours, and go fight some dude today. The only difference is I'm just gonna be in a cage, like you said, in front of a crowd. And honestly, like I don't fear losing. I don't fear winning. I'm just going in there to have fun. This is what I do. And the outcome is going to be the outcome. I'm really I'm not worried about any of that. I think it's going to add to it. I'm excited. A lot of my friends and family have been waiting for this for a long time. So it's more going to be just like this has been my dream since I was literally 12 years old to fight in front of all my friends and family in Bangor. So honestly, it's a dream come true. I could not complain less.
It's got to be pretty special to fight for
Yeah.
NEF as your debut, your actual debut fight for MMA. I mean, what I'm got to imagine that you've been watching all the NEF events, growing up as a kid and everything.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you to make your debut fight for the promotion?
Oh, I'm so excited. I've been watching these fights since I was just a young kid. Uh, I've known. I mean, have a signature on one of my first pair of boxing gloves from like Ryan Sanders and all of them when I was like 11 years old. Before I started, like I was a big fan. And Matt Peterson, he's good friends with my coach. He's a great guy. I love just fighting under him. It's kind of like a family thing to me. I think it's awesome. I love Maine, the New England vibe. Everyone, like, this is my family. This is my home. So I wouldn't want to fight for anyone else. I really wouldn't. And Glory being my teammate, she's been a powerhouse for NEF and anything. Like, I just want to follow her footsteps. She's a real role model. So, yeah.
For sure, no doubt about that. Well, we did talk about Patrick Mitchell already a little bit, so let's just talk about exactly what's going to happen in this fight with you, Jackson. What do you think is going to transpire? What is your mind telling you? How's this fight going to end?
Well, I got to be careful here because, Lord, my last fight. I came in a little hot. Jeez, I came in little hot, and maybe I've been a little bit, tad bit cocky. Definitely shouldn't have been, but you live and you learn. So I'm gonna keep it modest. I'm just gonna go in there. I'm gonna have a fun time. I'm gonna jab his face off. Give him some biscuits and gravy, a little post-holiday warm-up. And gosh, I don't want to give him too much information. I have a feeling he's going to be listening to this, so I don't want to give away my game plan. But it's going to be an exciting fight. Fans better be there early. I imagine I'm probably going to be one of the earlier fights, considering it's my debut and whatnot. So fans better be in their seats early because it's going to be a flashy fight. I'm a flashy fighter. I do a lot of fun things. I move weird. No one fights like me. You guys are going to find out. I have my own unique style. It doesn't compare to anyone. It's one of a kind. And I think the 125 and 135 division is going to be looking at a new contender, and they're going to have a performance to watch. That's for sure. And honestly, I'll keep it modest, but I'm going out there for the finish. And I'm sure he will be too. So may the better man win.
Can't wait for it, buddy. Again, February the 11th, NEF 51. Jackson Campbell makes his MMA debut against Patrick Mitchell. Great time having you on the show here today. Before we do sign off, I want to give you the floor. Please tell people where they can follow you on social media. If you have anyone to thank, any sponsors, the floor is yours.
All right. First of all, I want to thank Ryan. He's the man. He's the first guy to give me an interview, and this has been a blast. I'm new to this. I love it. He's also a Pats fan, Tom Brady fan. So this is my place. I like it here. But yeah, follow me at Jiggy_Jack on Instagram, and then yeah, shoot me a follow. Follow Young's MMA to get posts on our to get updates on us fighters, and yeah, get your tickets at I don't even know where you can buy them. crossinsurance.com or Ticketmaster or something. But get your tickets. It's going to sell out quick. It's a small venue, so get them now. And yeah, just come watch and support me. I'm going to be posting a fight t-shirt soon. So if you're looking to support a local fighter, check it out. If it's something you like, wear it to the fights and give me some support. But yeah, on that note, I'll get out of here. Thanks, Ryan.